Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will start from part 4 IELTS listening from books IELTS Cambridge 16 question 31 to 40. So part 4 really related to complete the notes below. Okay, there will be statements and it's just like the filling the blanks. Okay, and they will mention how many words you have to write and you have to strict for that. Okay, for example, here they said write one word only. One word only. So you have to write only one word, no more than one word. For example, if you write a snake, okay, so there will be answer only snake, not a snake. Okay, so you guys have to write only one word. In part 4, may you guys think that this part 4 is most difficult, but here I will give some tricks for understanding questions in part 4. So let's start. The topic of this listening part 4 is the extinction of the dodo bird. It's related to dodo bird. Dodo is name of bird. Okay, so it's all about related to extinction of that bird. So when there will be time for reading these questions, you have to carefully read all the 10 questions before the speaker starts to speak. Okay, so during this time you have to carefully go through all the questions. For example, okay, one more thing, don't waste your time in reading statements if there is no question. Okay, just like this statement, this. Okay, it's related to history. Okay, you have to focus on the clue words like 1507. The speaker will must speak this year. He will say year 1507. Okay, then Portuguese ships. Okay, this word can also be speak as it is transporting. Okay, so here the word that will be changed will be transporting. The person can use any synonym of this word like carrying. Okay, here the speaker can use carrying. Dash stopped at the island to collect food and water. Okay, so your focus should be on the word which thing is being carrying, which thing is being transporting. Okay, Portuguese ships transport, ये जो ships है क्या transport करेगी, stopped at the island to collect food and water. Okay, so you have to focus on the word transporting. Next, in 1638, this word will be speak as it is. In the year 1638, the Dutch established a dash on the island. The Dutch will be asked, talked as it is. Established. You can use a right set up here. Okay, means the speaker can speak set up a dash on the island. Okay, focus on the word a. ओके, यहाँ पे जो स्पीकर है वो कोई ऐसा वर्ड यूज़ करेगा जो सिंगल होगा. ठीक है, तो आपने वो यहाँ पे इसका आंसर करना है आ डैश ऑन द आइलैंड. नेक्स्ट द ओके लीव दिस टू स्टेटमेंट्स. Description the only okay a Dutch painting suggests that Dodo was very. Dutch painting, ठीक है, ये क्या suggest करेगी, द डोडो वाज वेरी. डोडो क्या था, उसकी कोई नेचर के बारे में यहाँ पे बताया जाएगा. ठीक है, वाज वेरी यहाँ पे दिख ले कि कोई उसकी नेचर होगी जिसके बारे में यहाँ पे बताया जाएगा. उसके बाद है द ओनली रिमेनिंग सॉफ्ट टिश्यू इज़ अ ड्राइड डैश. अब डोडो का कोई जो रिमेनिंग सॉफ्ट टिश्यू था वो कौन सा हो सकता है, उसकी बॉडी का कोई भी पार्ट हो सकता है यहाँ पे जो वो बोलेंगे. ठीक है, अपने स्टेटमेंट को समझना है कि यहाँ पे कौन सा आंसर आ सकता है, अपने माइंड में आंसर्स को लेके आना है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आप ऊपर लिख ले बॉडी. ठीक है, कोई बॉडी का पार्ट आएगा यहाँ पे. ओके, नेक्स्ट इन क्वेश्चन 35 Recent studies of a dodo skeleton suggest the bird were capable of rapid dash. यहाँ पे रिसेंट स्टडीज़ की जगह वो हिस्ट्री यूज़ कर सकते हैं वर्ड, या यहाँ पे वो यूज़ कर सकते हैं साइंटिस्ट, उन्होंने क्या डिस्कवर किया या क्या फाइंड किया. डोडो स्केलेटन सुजेस्ट द बर्ड्स वर कैपेबल ऑफ रैपिड डैश. बर्ड्स किस एबल थे, किस चीज़ के, वो यहाँ पे वर्ड बोला जाएगा रैपिड डैश. ठीक है, रैपिड डैश. इट्स थॉट दे वर एबल टू यूज़ देयर स्मॉल विंग्स टू मेंटेन डैश. अब यहाँ पे वो डिस्कस करेंगे कि वो किस एबल थे कि अपने स्मॉल विंग्स को यूज़ करें, किस पर्पज़ के लिए. यहाँ पे पर्पज़ बताया जाएगा टू मेंटेन डैश. क्या पर्पज़ था जिसको वो मेंटेन कर रहे थे अपने स्मॉल विंग्स को यूज़ करते हुए. इन क्वेश्चन नंबर 37, देयर डैश वॉज ऑफ एवरेज साइज. देयर, ठीक है, बर्ड है ना, बर्ड का कोई भी पार्ट यहाँ पे भी फिजिकल पार्ट आ जाएगा जिसके बारे में बताएंगे कि उसका क्या था, एवरेज साइज था. ठीक है. देयर सेंस ऑफ डैश. सेंस यहाँ पे कॉमन सेंस की बात है कि यहाँ पे कोई आपकी सेंस जैसे कोई स्मेल की हो सकती है, लिसनिंग की, स्पीकिंग की, कोई भी जो स्मेल, सॉरी बर्ड तो स्पीक कर नहीं सकता. ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोई सेंस जो है वो वर्ड यहाँ पे यूज़ होगा. सो आपने उसको ध्यान से सुनना है. ठीक है, और उस सेंस का यहाँ पे नेम लिखना है, नेबर देम टू फाइंड. ठीक है, कौन सी सेंस थी जिससे वो फूड को फाइंड कर सकते हैं. तो कॉमन सेंस की बात है यहाँ पे, मे बी स्मेल की सेंस हो. ठीक है, तो ये आपने लिसन करना है. इन क्वेश्चन 39 रीजन्स वो बताएंगे. ठीक है, और क्या होगा, डैश आल्सो escaped onto the island and ate the birds eggs. ओके, यहाँ पे कोई और जानवर या परिंदा जो है वो आएगा. ठीक है, escaped onto the island, और वो क्या करेगा, वो जो बर्ड्स एग्स हैं उनको ईट करेगा. द अराइवल ऑफ, यहाँ पे कोई सी बी कोई नेम आएगा. ठीक है, नेम ऑफ बर्ड और एनिमल. द अराइवल ऑफ फार्मिंग मीन्स द डैश वॉज डिस्ट्रॉयड. ओके, अराइवल ऑफ फार्मिंग मीन द डैश, द आर्टिकल वॉज डिस्ट्रॉयड. यहाँ पे कौन सी चीज़ है जो डिस्ट्रॉय होगी. ठीक है, किसी प्लेस का या किसी चीज़ का, किसी थिंग का नाम यहाँ पे आएगा. ठीक है, ओके. अब आपने इसको ध्यान से सुनना है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 31 से 40 उनके आंसर्स लिखने हैं.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
One of the most famous cases of extinction is that of a bird known as the dodo. In fact, there's even a saying in English, as dead as the dodo, used to refer to something which no longer exists. But for many centuries, the dodo was alive and well, although it could only be found in one place, the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It was a very large bird, about 1 meter tall, and over the centuries it had lost the ability to fly, but it survived happily under the trees that covered the island. Then, in the year 1507, the first Portuguese ships stopped at the island. The sailors were carrying spices back to Europe and found the island a convenient stopping place where they could stock up with food and water for the rest of the voyage. But they didn't settle on Mauritius.
ओके, तो स्पीकर ने क्या कहा है, कैरिंग स्पाइसेस. ठीक है, बैक टू यूरोप एंड फाउंड कन्वीनियंट स्टॉपिंग प्लेस वेयर दे कैन स्टॉक फूड एंड वाटर लाइक दिस. ओके, सो यहाँ पे जो ट्रांसपोर्टिंग की जगह वर्ड यूज हुआ वो कौन सा था, कैरिंग. कौन सी चीज़ कैरी कर रहे थे, स्पाइसेस. नेक्स्ट मूव ऑन टू क्वेश्चन 32.
However, in 1638, the Dutch arrived and set up a colony there.
A colony.
These first human inhabitants of the island found the dodo birds a convenient source of meat, although not everyone liked the taste. It's hard to get an accurate
Okay, so स्टार्ट में आपको समझ आ गया होगा डच ने क्या सेटअप किया, आ कॉलोनी देयर. ठीक है, आइलैंड पे कॉलोनी स्टैब्लिश की थी, कॉलोनी सेटअप की थी. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 33.
to get an accurate description of what the dodo actually looked like. We do have some written records from sailors and a few pictures, but we don't know how reliable these are. The best known picture is a Dutch painting in which the bird appears to be extremely fat, but this may not be accurate. An Indian painting done at the same time shows a much thinner bird. Although
okay. So extremely fat. फोकस किया आपने यहाँ पे उसने क्या वर्ड यूज़ किया है कि जो डच पेंटिंग है उन्होंने क्या सजेस्ट किया कि जो बर्ड्स हैं वो किस टाइप के अपीयर होने हैं एक्सट्रीमली फैट तो यहाँ पे वाज वेरी फैट लिसन दिस स्टेटमेंट अगेन
It's hard to get an accurate description of what the dodo actually looked like. We do have some written records from sailors and a few pictures, but we don't know how reliable these are. The best known picture is a Dutch painting in which the bird appears to be extremely fat, but this may not be accurate. An Indian painting done at the same time shows a much thinner bird.
Okay.
Although
now move to question 34.
No attempts were made to preserve the bodies of some of the birds. No complete specimen survives. In the early 17th century, 4 dried parts of a bird were known to exist. Of these, 3 have disappeared. So only one example of soft tissue from the dodo survives, a dodo head.
Okay,
Bones have also been found, but there's only one complete skeleton in existence.
Okay, तो यहाँ पे इसने क्या कहा है कि इसकी जो एग्जांपल है वो कौन सी है सॉफ्ट टिश्यू की डोडोज हेड सो हमने एक वर्ड लिखना है तो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा इज अ ड्राइड हेड ठीक है नेम ऑफ फिजिकल पार्ट तो क्या यूज़ किया यहाँ पे उन्होंने हेड नाउ मूव टू क्वेश्चन 35
This single dodo skeleton has recently been the subject of scientific research, which suggests that many of the earlier beliefs about dodos may have been incorrect. For example, early accounts of the birds mention how slow and clumsy it was. But scientists now believe the bird's strong knee joints would have made it capable of movement which was not slow, but actually quite fast. This single dodo skeleton has recently been the subject of...
यहाँ पे क्या बोला उसने कि मेड इट कैपेबल ऑफ मूवमेंट तो हमने वही वर्ड फाइंड करना था ना किस एबल उसको बनाया है वर्ड कैपेबल ऑफ रैपिड मूवमेंट सो मूवमेंट इज द आंसर
In fact, one 17th century sailor wrote that he found the birds hard to catch. It's true that the dodo's small wings wouldn't have allowed it to leave the ground, but the scientists suggest that these were probably employed for balance while going over uneven ground. Another...
Okay, for balance or maintain balance ठीक है किस पर्पस के यूज कर रहे थे स्मॉल विंग्स को बैलेंस के लिए लिसन अगेन दिस क्वेश्चन
In fact, one 17th century sailor wrote that he found the birds hard to catch. It's true that the dodo's small wings wouldn't have allowed it to leave the ground, but the scientists suggest that these were probably employed for balance while going over uneven ground. Another...
Okay, for balance, to maintain balance. ये इसका पर्पस है जिस पर्पस के लिए स्मॉल विंग्स को यूज़ किया गया है नेक्स्ट इज देयर डैश वाज ऑफ एवर साइज अब ये बॉडी का कोई पार्ट होगा ध्यान से सुनने क्या नेम लेगा बॉडी का
Another group of scientists carried out analysis of the dodo's skull. They found that the reports of the lack of intelligence of the dodo were not borne out by their research, which suggested the bird's brain was not small, but average in size. In fact,
okay, the bird's brain was not small but average in size. Small नहीं था लेकिन average in size था. तो कौन सा था part उसका? Brain, their brain. Okay, next you have to focus on sense.
In fact, in relation to its body size, it was similar to that of the pigeon, which is known to be a highly intelligent bird. The researchers also found that the structure of the bird's skull suggested that one sense which was particularly well developed was that of smell. So the dodo may also have been particularly
smell. ठीक है, जो उसकी सेंस कौन सी यहाँ पे डिस्कस की गई है? वन साइंस क्या कहा उसने कि पर्टिकुलरली वेल डेवलप्ड वाज दैट ऑफ स्मेल. सो देयर सेंस ऑफ स्मेल. Okay, next is question number 39. Listen it first. He will discuss.
So it looks as if the dodo was better able to survive and defend itself than was originally believed. Yet, less than 200 years after Europeans first arrived on the island, they had become extinct. So what was the reason for this? For a long time, it was believed that the dodos were hunted to extinction. But scientists now believe the situation was more complicated than this. Another factor may have been the new species brought to the island by the sailors. These included dogs, which would have been a threat to the dodos, and also monkeys, which ate the fruit that was the main part of the dodo's diet. These were brought to the island deliberately. But the ships also brought another type of creature, rats, which came to land from the ships and rapidly overran the island. These upset the...
Okay.
So it looks as if the dodo was better able to survive.
किस क्रिएचर के बारे में यहाँ पे बात की गई है, या कौन सा एनिमल या कौन सा यहाँ पे वर्ड यूज़ किया गया है? रैट्स. ठीक है, रैट्स आल्सो स्केप्ड. यहाँ पे वो बताएगा कि वो जो रैट्स थे वो क्या कर रहे थे? एट कर रहे थे बर्ड्स एग्स फ्रॉम. ओके, लिसन इट.
These upset the ecology of the island, not just the dodos, but other species too. However, they were a particular danger to the dodos because they consumed their eggs.
Okay, danger to the dodos because they consumed their eggs. तो कौन सा यहाँ पे animal है? Rat. Okay. Now move to question 40. Arrival of farming meat the dash was destroyed. यहाँ पे कौन सी चीज़ है जो destroy हुई थी? वो उसका name आपने find out करना है.
And since each dodo only laid one at a time, this probably had a devastating effect on populations. However, we now think that probably the main cause of the bird's extinction was not the introduction of non-native species, but the introduction of agriculture. This meant that the forest that had once covered all the island and that had provided a perfect home for the dodo was cut down so that crops such as sugar could be grown. So, although the dodo had survived for thousands of years, suddenly it was gone.
Okay, so here what she used the word for destruction, said the forest that has covered all the island had provided a perfect home for the dodo was cut down so that crops such as sugar could be grown. ठीक है, शुगर को ग्रो करने के लिए उसको कट डाउन कर दिया गया, उसको ख़त्म कर दिया गया, तो यहाँ पे किसको फिर नुकसान हुआ, फॉरेस्ट को, ठीक है। पहले उसके फ़ायदे बताया, फिर बताया कि उसको ख़त्म कर दिया गया। तो वाज डिस्ट्रॉयड मीन्स कट डाउन, कौन सी चीज़ यहाँ पे, फॉरेस्ट। Okay, so these are related to part 4 listening. You guys must have to do practice. Okay, practice can make you perfect. Listen, 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 and again listen. Okay, for listening, your listening skills should be very good, and you should have focus on the clue words. Also, you guys must listen more than normal speed, like 1 to 5 and 1.5. Okay, and that will help you a lot. Okay, Allah Hafiz.